3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Sports Shift with me, Ian Marquez. Today we're going to be recapping all of this weekend's Premier League action. Let's get into it. So what a weekend of games it was. A lot of action, unpredictable scorelines, high scoring games. First and foremost, we had Everton against Liverpool. This game, they had a lot of rumors on Thursday, Friday that it would be postponed, but that's happened before and it's gone ahead and played. You know, they played in some disgusting snow, some high level rain. It's always raining over there anyway. But we got the news early on Saturday that this game was going to be postponed. So the first game of the weekend was Aston Villa versus Southampton. A lot of rotation as it's a heavy schedule right now. So Giroud starting, pressuring the centre backs, causing an error and running on and starting at home. He's putting a lot of pressure on Ollie Watkins to step up or move aside, basically. Southampton continue to struggle in the bottom three, and I don't see where the goals are coming from. The defense is leaking, and it's going to be difficult for them to stay up. Next game, one of the big upsets of the weekend, Brentford. You know how good they are at home, flying form, and Mbeumo, Yoane Wissa. They had Igor playing, and well, Brentford are so inconsistent, and there's a huge disparity in their home and away form. At home, they're clicking, man. Mbeumo was on fire, Wissa, and Newcastle couldn't handle them. Isaac did his thing with a goal and assist, but it wasn't enough, and Brentford with a resounding 4-2 win. Meanwhile, Man City travelled to London. Ismaila Sarr has been a revelation over the last few weeks. He's really transformed the Palace attack along with Richard Eze, and Man City continue to leak goals and they aren't creating as much as they were before. I know Haaland got on the score sheet, but a well-deserved draw for Crystal Palace, and Manchester City continue to struggle. We'll see where they go next. Big Manchester derby coming out this weekend from two teams that are struggling to find form. It's anyone's game. That should be a high-scoring game. Both defenses are very leaky right now. Speaking of, Manchester United at home to Nottingham Forest, resulting in the first loss at home to Ruben Amorim. Three poor defensive goals to concede, first from a corner. Manchester United, one of the worst teams defending corners, they don't understand it. Then a long shot from Gibbs White that it was wet, it was windy, so it took a bounce and skid the wrong way, but Onana, with the quality of goalkeeper he is, should be stopping that. And the last goal is just shambolic between Onana and Martinez, a loopy header from Chris Wood that they both watched drop very casually into the back post, and it was pretty dreadful. On the other side, Bruno with a really good goal, Rasmus Højlund starting one home. United have been creating chances, but they're just giving freebies to the opponents. They're not making them work for it, and a deserved win for Nottingham Forest. They continue to challenge the top half of the table and put pressure on the top four. Can they continue this run? Arsenal travelling a short trip across the capital to Fulham. Fulham have been in fine form as well. Never an easy game when you travel to Fulham, and it started with a beautiful team goal. 21 passes with every player on the team touching the ball, resulting in Raul Jimenez finding his form once again and putting Fulham ahead. Arsenal later equalised, guess how? Another corner. Stoke FC, here we go again. And they thought they'd won it with Saka header at the back post. However, Martinelli was offside in the build-up, so the points were shared, and Arsenal continued to sputter, chasing down Liverpool. Now, Liverpool didn't play this weekend, so it was a good opportunity to gain some points, but only 1 point gained. We move on to Ipswich. Poor Ipswich. They're excited to watch. I want them to stay in the Prem, but they keep letting these leads slip away. They took a 1-0 lead. They had Bournemouth struggling to find the net. Bournemouth have been creating a lot of chances, but they weren't very clinical. However, late on, a well-worked team goal to find the equaliser, followed by a Unal winner in the 95th minute. Heartbreaking for Ipswich, but you got to find a way to seal the games, man. If you give them a chance, these Premier League teams will come back and find a way to get back in the game. Leicester played host to Brighton. Ruud van Nistelrooy with his new upbeat Leicester playing some attacking football. They're playing with passion, they're fighting, they're working hard. Jamie Vardy once again with his resurgence. This guy seems to don't age. He's been 33 for like 15 years now, you know, but still doing his thing, still finding the way. What an impressive performance by him. Brighton with a 2-0 lead, pretty commanding, control of the game, and Leicester in the last 10 minutes found a way to come back and score 2 goals. Firstly, a mistake by Brighton, giving away the ball on a well-worked pass, finding Vardy to slot it home. Finally, Vardy could have been selfish, a well-worked attack. He could have gone for it by himself, but he squared the ball, and Leicester share the points. Ruud van Nistelrooy has Leicester playing really well. I'm excited to see how this goes. Coming on to the Super Sunday game of the weekend. Spurs hosting second place Chelsea. This game was, as promised, as always with these two teams, high scoring game, end-to-end action, and it's not over till the final whistle, as we saw. Started off with 2 mistakes by Marc Cucurella, struggling to find his feet in these new Puma boots. They didn't make it home with him. They found the garbage can after the game. But 2 slips, presenting Spurs with 2 easy attacks that they managed to slot home, going up 2-0 quite early, followed by Jadon Sancho putting one back to make it 2-1 at halftime. So it was 2-1 at halftime, and Chelsea came out firing. Cucurella had new boots, changed his boots after the second goal. He had enough of that. And Chelsea came out firing, creating chances. Enzo single, and in this new role, playing out of his life right now, finally starting to show his value for that huge price tag. Once again, finding the net on a loose ball, and then step up Cole Palmer. 2 much needed penalties. He now has the record for the most penalties scored without a miss, and a well shot penalty followed by a Panenka. Cool, cold Palmer. Chelsea coming back from a 2-0 deficit to win 4-3. Spurs doing Spurs things, and Chelsea continue to put pressure on Liverpool. Are they serious contenders? I don't see why not. They're scoring goals. Yeah, they're conceding, but they're playing consistent. They're scoring goals. Cole Palmer hasn't even been that involved in games, but he's still finding the net. Similar to some would say Mo Salah, how he does it. But Chelsea, been serious contenders. Finally, we move to the Monday game. West Ham have been playing every Monday, and that will continue next week as well. At home to Wolves. People were calling this El Sacico because Gary O'Neill and Julian Lopetegui are both could say on the hot seat, struggling to find form, struggling to figure out. The sides may not have the players able to play the style of football they want, but that's just an excuse. They have to find a way to get the results or they'll be gone. Well, West Ham at home to Wolves. It was an emotional warm-up as all the players wore the number 9 Mikel Antonio shirt. Prayers up for Antonio as he's in the hospital following a huge car crash. Hopefully he'll recover and be able to come back on the field eventually. But West Ham are pretty dominant. It was a very cagey first half with both teams more focused on not making a mistake as opposed to trying to be incisive and find the cutting edge. However, West Ham did eventually find the breakthrough with a Souček header, a long loopy header at the back post, and there was just no one on the line to cover it, so it's found its way into the net. Later on, Wolves finally found a way to equalise. Aït-Nouri, the attacking fullback that he is, with a cut-back pass, and Matt Doherty back to his old Wolves ways, coming in from the far post with a very beautiful volley into the bottom corner to equalise. And they continued to be cagey. However, Jared Bowen, with his usual cut in on the right side, figure shot, and put it in the far post, was enough to get West Ham the win. And he pulled out an Antonio shirt to celebrate and show that they're supporting Mikel in his recovery. A nice touch by the captain there. But West Ham found a way to win, create a bit of gap between the bottom, and Wolves remain in the bottom 3. How long does Gary O'Neill have? I guess we'll find out. So that covers all this weekend's scorelines. Obviously some pretty big upsets and some pretty big results. 7 goals in Spurs and Chelsea. Never fails to give. Both Manchester teams are struggling, as well as Newcastle traveling to London and taking 4 from Brentford. So, what was the upset of the week? Well, we could have said City, drawing with Palace, but Palace have been playing a lot better. For me, it has to be United at home to Nottingham Forest. Forest taking the lead, the United equalised to make it 1-1 before going down 3-1 to 2 early second half goals. Fernandez with a late second half goal, a very good goal, and they did put up a little bit of fight. Bruno hit a post with a free kick, hit the crossbar. Chris Wood also had a chance that came off the post. But in the end, United are beating themselves, and Ruben Amorim, you can see that his system has potential. He just needs to get the personnel and find a way to fit. Ahmad on the right, paired with Mazraoui, I think is a really good combination, and when they get to play together, it's been working really well. However, he's been using Mazraoui because he's so good and so versatile all over the field, and as a result, it's kind of diminishing that partnership. And I think he still isn't 100% sure who his best 11 is yet. Diego Dalot has been using up that left wing back spot, and I'm tired of seeing it, man. You have the likes of Garnacho and Rashford if you want to go more attacking, if you want to go more defensive. When Luke Shaw is fit, you have Luke Shaw. If you need to put Mazraoui on that side, you can do that as well. But I know Dalot's fit and he covers a lot of ground, but he's very average on both sides of the ball, makes mistakes, and I think it's costing United. So after this game, they have to find their feet with a quick Europa League game on Thursday, followed by the Manchester derby on Sunday. And Manchester City have never been more beatable than they are right now, so I hope Amorim finds the best team and figures it out. For me personally, I would put Bruno and Menu right behind the striker, let them get on the ball, they do decisive passes, they can play riskier passes further up the field, and I'd have the likes of Ugarte and Casemiro behind them to form a little bit of a box. Back there we have Martinez, De Ligt, Maguire feels pretty interchangeable, and then you have Mazraoui or Euro. I'd play Mazraoui there and then play a man in front of them just so you can get that combination again. Or if you want to play Euro there, you can then play Mazraoui at left wing back as well if you want to be a little bit more defensive. Then you have the likes of Rashford, Garnacho, and Højlund for that front row or left wing back role. You can pick any two of them. I think that's the best team. Gives it a little bit more of control, allows the midfielders to flourish, and hopefully at some point he plays that side. So the goal of the week. Well, usually I put out some options and we talk about it, trying to decide which one's the best, but there's no discussion this time. Lamptey off the right side, cut in on his weaker left foot, a beautiful shot, top bins, and I didn't need to see anything else. We didn't need to talk about anything else. This is the goal of the week by far. What a goal by Tariq Lamptey. Brighton have been a little bit wavering in their form, but this was easily the goal of the week. Let's move on. So another player of the week, that's a little bit more discussion. Well, down 2-0, Jamie Vardy in Ruud van Nistelrooy's new Leicester, finding a way to bring them back to 2-2 with a goal and an assist. Bryan Mbeumo dominating Newcastle at home with a goal, also creating so many chances. Very good shout. Or Cole Palmer calmly sealing the deal away to Spurs to maintain the chase and keep up pressure on Liverpool. Let me know who you guys think is the player of the week. All valid options, but I think I'd have to go for Cole Palmer just because of the significance of the game, the position that Chelsea are in. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to check out another one of my Premier League videos. Otherwise, see you guys next time.